So today we're doing a deep dive into a datasheet that, honestly, at first glance, it just looks like a simple yellow industrial core.
Right, just a thick cable.
But once you actually start reading the specs for this NTI E-LLDC-10, you realize, okay, this is not a power cord. This is a liquid location detection sensor cable.
Yeah, and that's the 10-foot version. And that location detection part of the name is doing some very heavy lifting.
Oh, so?
Well, this isn't just some wire that, shorts out when it gets wet and rings a bell somewhere. It's designed to tell an entire system exactly where the water is.
Okay, I want to jump straight into the sensitivity specs on this because that's what really caught my eye.
Right.
The documentation says this thing triggers at a liquid depth of just over 0.1 inches. So what, like 2.5 millimeters?
It's basically a film of water, a sheen.
And it gets even crazier. It says it can detect a minimum puddle diameter of 0.6 inches.
Yeah.
That's about the size of a dime. For an industrial setting, isn't that bordering on overkill?
You'd think so, but in the environments this cable is designed for, absolutely not.
Okay.
You have to remember this usually gets paired with the EALDS, the addressable leak detection sensor. That's the brain unit.
Right, the controller.
Exactly. And if you're running this under a raised floor in a server room or, mission-critical control center, a dime-sized puddle is the first sign of a disaster.
So you're catching the leak at the drip stage, not the flood stage.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And notice the materials. The electronics inside are 100% waterproof.
You'd hope so.
It sounds obvious, right?
Yeah.
But it's a critical detail. The sensor has to survive the very hazard it's built to detect so it can keep sending that crucial data.
Speaking of surviving, I saw a number in the reliability section that I genuinely thought had to be a typo.
I know the one you mean, the MTBF.
The mean time between failures, it's listed as 10,869,188 hours.
10,869,188 hours.
That is, if you do the math, that's over 1,000 years. How is that even possible?
So we should be really clear for anyone listening. That doesn't mean you can leave this cable on the floor for a millennium and it'll still work.
Okay, right.
MPBF is a statistical probability of failure.
So it's not a lifespan guarantee, it's a reliability metric.
Exactly. In engineering terms, a number that high basically means the random spontaneous failure rate is functionally zero. Unless you physically damage it, cut it, burn it, the electronics inside are just not going to quit on you.
Which would explain the operating temperature range, too. It's rated from 32 up to 167 degrees Fahrenheit.
0 to 75 Celsius, so it can handle freezing intake rooms or, hot exhaust aisles in a data center. It's built for extremes.
But here's where I get stuck on the practical side. It's a cable. Cable shift, they get kicked, they coil up. How do you make sure this 10-foot sensor rope stays exactly where that dime-sized puddle might form?
That's where the physical specs come in. It has a bend radius of 0.375 inches.
So it's very flexible. It's extremely, you can route it tightly around pipes, around rack legs, whatever you need. And the spec sheet specifically calls out using their self-adhesive clips, the ECLP-XXLD.
So you're not just, tossing it on the floor behind the servers.
No, you're engineering the layout. You have to clip it down so it doesn't shift. Because remember, it's a location sensor. If the cable moves, your location data is suddenly wrong.
That makes sense. And since you mentioned the brain unit, I see here it connects with these M12 4-pin connectors. So this is definitely part of a bigger system.
That's the EALDS system we talked about. This cable is just the sensory organ. The module is what does all the processing.
But that whole ecosystem context really helps explain the price. I see this 10-foot segment is listed at $166.
Yeah.
For anyone used to buying, standard Ethernet or power cables, that's going to induce some serious sticker shock.
It is pricey if you think of it as just a wire, but you have to view it as an industrial sensor that just happens to be shaped like a wire.
You're paying for those robust connectors that tie into the smart system, and, you're paying for that 10 million hour reliability stat.
It's an insurance policy, basically.
That is the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
You don't buy this for your basement. You buy this to protect millions of dollars of hardware.
It's just a great reminder of how much engineering goes into these invisible things we literally walk all over. This cable just sits there, statistically immortal, waiting maybe decades for a single drop of water.
And the moment that drop hits, it doesn't just say leak. It tells you leak at 4 feet 2 inches from the start of the line. And in a crisis, that difference is everything.